Help me find the right words to say to get us back on our way. Can we try to fight against the grain of throwing out what we made? The future's far away, but I will stay, because I feel again, I feel again, oh now I feel again, we're bringing this back to life. We're picking up where we left off and on again. We never quite could forget, 'cause what we got so intense.
Better off as strangers. Believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a
Hello guys, how are we all? Alright, so sorry, I was just getting a little set up here. Also, apparently YouTube's pulling ads. We'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, how are we all? Morning everybody. I am aware the Freedom March or March for Freedom is actually currently on. If something happens regarding that, obviously we will jump to that. But at the moment, it's been a bit of a development with the YouTubing community, so we'll have a look at that. Alright, so let's just jump straight into it. They're gorgeous little kitties. I'm thinking that must be one of the memes or something that was up there that goes through the intro. For some reason my live stream health is poor, so I don't know what that means or why it's so low today, but let's see how you go. Let me know if you guys can see everything. Should be fine. And so how's your day? My kitties are playing and relaxing this morning. Yep, mine's meowing like God knows what. He's shut up now, but when the intro was going for that 10 minutes or so, he just kept meowing and just wouldn't shut up. So, you know what they're like when they're in. They want to get outside. Alright. Okay, so let's jump into this YouTube thing first, because, well, it's up on the screen. So YouTube has pulled hundreds of videos over essay cheating ads. So what this was there was a video or an ad that people would use where they would actually go through and they would advertise this firm or this group that would allow you to get ads or get essays written for you, get, you know, tests, get assessment papers written for you. They would write the papers on the proviso that, I suppose for legal reasons, that you would use it as a base. Yeah, right. But at the end of the day, people were using this company to go through and actually hand in assignments. Now, a lot of people in the YouTubing community did advertise this service. And there definitely were, I know a few of them, like, I'm not going to mention names, but definitely a few high-profile companies were actually using this service. It was a paid sponsor, and apparently it's harder for YouTube to block ads that don't directly control. This is all sort of related to the whole ad apocalypse. So basically what they were doing was, instead of going through and relying on YouTube to get ads, they were going through and getting their own ads, putting paid sponsors at the start of videos, and that was obviously making it harder for YouTube to control the ads, so they really couldn't do much about it. Well, apparently now they've gone through and they've deleted a whole stack of videos that featured this ad. So that was obviously interesting in itself. This, I believe, is directly related to the actual YouTube ad apocalypse. And at the end of the day, you know, YouTube, this is the thing, if you don't go through and you don't pay YouTubers money for ads, they will go and find their own. Like, people are using things like VPNs. They're advertising VPN services and that. You see Bearing and stuff like that run a lot of these sort of ads now. It's because at the end of the day, they're not making anything off YouTube ads because of the ad apocalypse. So, you know, at the end of the day, YouTube, what do you expect when you're not going to go through and pay money to YouTubers? They're going to go through and find their own ads, and you can't really control them. And some YouTubers jumped at this essay company because they wanted, well, they're paying good money, so they advertised it. But I don't know. that's what question to you guys, I suppose. Do you suspect that YouTubers, when they do this sort of stuff, is there sort of an ethic they should approach? Should YouTubers go through and have some sort of ethics when it comes to what ads they run? You know, like when it comes to things like, for example, this company, I can't remember the name of the company now, actually, I might say here. Yeah, it doesn't really say. It does say, however, they've pulled over 1,400 videos after the BBC investigation found more than 250 channels. Look at that, mainstream media attacking them again. Yep, I found Russians in Hillary's bathroom. Yeah. Was that the, they weren't cats, they were dogs, weren't they? The two dogs that were going on about Russia's pooping in the hallway. But yeah, so my mainstream media apparently looks like I've gone through and is trying to start another ad apocalypse. Oh, what a shock. So, yeah. And of course, obviously, YouTube stars are furious as videos promoting cheating has been removed. Obviously, you know, yeah, you can understand why they're a little upset. But yeah, YouTube stars complain hundreds of his videos containing the ad for essay writing services were removed from the channel. It follows a BBC investigation which found more than 250 channels had YouTubers plugging Eggy Birdie. I might be mispronouncing that. There it is there. Many of the adverts urge students to use Eggy Birdie to hire a super smart nerd to write their essays. YouTube says promoting of essay writing services is banned by its advertisement policies. The ad appears in the middle of videos covering a range of interests including prank, video games, fashion and dating. In most of them, the YouTube stars break away from what they are doing in order to promote Eggy Birdie. This just seems like it's sour grapes, it really does. It sounds like, yep, okay, we found a way to get past your ad apocalypse and mainstream media has cracked the poops. Holy dooly, someone has had a mass amount of flags. Look at all these. Holy dooly. Yeah. Video removed, inappropriate. Raymond says in chat, what hasn't YouTube not done? Negative. Yeah, well, there's that, yes. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not blaming YouTube. Obviously, look, YouTubers, if you're going to run sponsorship, you need to make sure that it's in the confines of the law. You obviously need to go through and make sure that it's moral and that you have some sort of moral ethic. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is directly relatable or directly responsible also because of the ad apocalypse. And I'm sorry, but this just comes across as BBC having a bunch of sour grapes and just trying to start another ad apocalypse. Raymond, maybe the music tone was affecting him. Poor kitty. Yeah, I've got the headset on, but he might have been able to hear it. I think he just wants to get out, man, to be honest. But he can stay in for the night. Alright, betrayed by her own corporal, foul-mouthed army instructor faces court-martial after his video of female recruit being reduced to tears is viewed 250,000 times. Okay, so an army instructor is facing court-martial after he filmed a female recruit reducing her to tears in a shocking video that's been watched more than 250,000 times online. Last night, furious top brass were trying to track down the corporal who may be booted out of the army after using an iPhone to record the moment he subjected the distraught trainee to a torrent of verbal abuse during a bayonet exercise. Alright, we do have the video, so let's have a look at that.
Get the f*** here! Hurry up! Who is that?
He sounds English. I'm going to say he sounds English.
Who are you? Who are you? To kill who? Get here now. Get here. Get here. Get down. Get down. Get down, Sickity. Sit me. Why are you in my room? Why are you here to kill who? Are you a killer or a mouse?
Killer!
Are you a killer? Show me your war face. That's not a war face. Show me your war face. Why have you got a piercing your tongue? Why the you got a piercing your tongue? You are not a killer. Get the here now. Get here. Get here.
Like, at the end of the day, yeah, this looks bad, but isn't this the same sort of treatment that all men and all people in the military get? Like, I'm not justifying it, but at the end of the day, isn't this the same treatment that everybody gets? Like, I can't help but feel that this has been highlighted because it's a woman. Like, I got friends that are in the military. I got family that are in the military. I imagine if I called them right now, this treatment is standard stock and trade for going through military cadets. So why are they making such a big thing? Oh, wait, it's because it's a woman. But this is the thing. They want women in the services. Yet when they're in the services and this shit happens, they're like, oh, you can't do that to a woman. Well, you want a woman in. This is what the military is like. This is what you expected.
Why can you smell me on here? Why can you smell me? What the is that? Oh God! Kill it! Kill that position! Take it! Kill! Kill! Kill it, man! Where's your aggression? You are you are not a killer. You are not a killer. On guard! On guard! I put to beat it. Right, let's get it back in the river now. Let's get in that river. You are weak. You are weak. Get down. Get down. Hey, get here. Get down. Stand up. Hey, yeah, sit. That's it. You done it. You done it. Huh? You're crying. What are you crying for? Because you done it. Have you? Get back down now. Get back.
Like, I know I'm going to get flamed for saying that, but what? I don't know. That he doesn't seem to be doing anything more than the average military recruit is going through, and she seems to be breaking down and crying. This is the military that they want the women to go in. Like, anyway, YouTube is stepping into the law minefield. YouTube will lose the law site big time. Yeah, I don't know. If they say it's against their terms of policy, so if that's the case, then yeah. But yeah, they have a lot of problems with the legal at the moment, and everybody is trying to sue the crap out of them. So yeah. Oops. I missed my mark. There it is. It's roughly there somewhere.
Stand up. Hey, yeah, sit. That's it. You done it. You done it. Huh? You're crying. What are you crying for? Because you done it. Have you? Get back down now. Get back down. Get back down. You are nowhere near the end. Get through there now. Get through. Get there.
Okay, yeah, like I said, look, I don't think... can't blame YouTubers, get ads, it is legal and it's not illegal. Such as this. Yeah, they're claiming it's against their policy, so it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, I can't blame the YouTubers for going out and finding their own ads. And this just seems like the BBC is just really having a bit of a whinge because they've found a few ads. It's the good old, it's the ad apocalypse. Oh, look, here's some naughty ads that are running on a bad channel that we set and we've refreshed 200 times just to get different ads. Like, yeah. But anyway. But yeah, but as for this video, look, I don't see this as bad as what everybody's claiming. I'm sorry, but this is This is standard paramilitary training. This is what the army is like. And you can't sit there now and say, oh, he's mistreating her because he's yelling at her and abusing her. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the military. This is what they are like. They are trying to make people killers. What is she going to do? Get in the middle of a battlefield and break down and start crying because she's in a battlefield. This is insane. Google needs to be broken up, powerful one. Yeah, but then, you know, then who makes that, you know, who makes that call? At the end of the day, you know, if you, do you sit there and say, well, you know, this company is too big, or this company is too big, or, you know, like, where do you draw the line? But anyway, let's jump on to something else. Award-winning filmmaker Carlos Carvalho, I might be mispronouncing, dies after a giraffe headbutts him. He got headbutted by a giraffe. So, a award-winning South African filmmaker died Wednesday after he was headbutted by a giraffe. Carlos, 47, was at the Glen African Country Lodge in South Africa, shooting series about a British family in a game lodge when he attempted to get close-up shot of Gerald the giraffe, Deadline reported. While cover was trying to get his shot, Gerald headbutted the filmmaker and set him 16 feet in the air. Holy dooly, that's a hell of a headbutt. Carlos suffered a massive head injury. As a result, the filmmaker was airlifted to Johannesburg Hospital, where he has died. YouTube, yeah, well, there's that, so yeah. Yeah, with everything that's gone on about YouTube over the past so many months, man, it's insane, it really is. Alright, so yeah, apparently a award-winning filmmaker has died because of a giraffe headbutting him. So, interesting. 16 feet in the air. He must have, like, whacked him up or something? I don't know, like, headbutted him up? Like, uppercutted him? I don't know. John Kerry under fire for reported shadow diplomat to save Iran deals. The deep state. Sorry, my bad. Former Secretary of State John Kerry is under fire for reportedly claiming he has been engaged in shadow diplomacy with officials from Iran and Europe as a part of an attempt to save the seemingly doomed 2015 nuclear deal. Hey Sophie, how are you? The Boston Globe reported Friday that Kerry sat down twice with Iranian Foreign Minister Jared Zefrin in recent months to strategize a bid to save the deal as a part of what the Globe describes as an aggressive yet stealthy mission to put pressure on Trump administration to keep the deal in some form. Trump faces a May 12th deadline to review the deal, and Kerry has been ramping up his meetings ahead of that deadline. He reportedly met with German President Frank Waltz-Stemser, I'm mispronouncing that, who was a foreign minister of Germany when the deal was negotiated. He's also met with French President Emmanuel Macron twice and spoken by phone with European Union Foreign Affairs Chief Fredra Majorki. I know I'm definitely getting that one wrong. I don't know how I feel. Okay, so this is all relating to Benjamin Netanyahu. So this is all relating to Benjamin. Sorry, how do you say his name? Where is? So this is all relating to Israel's claim that Iran is using weapons or has a nuclear weapon program. Now, the reason why I haven't really spoken on this, reason is because I haven't seen the other side of the debate. Israel is claiming Iran has weapons or has a nuclear weapons program. They have all this, quote, proof, which the White House has come out and said, yes, is legit. That said, this is the same Israel that claimed that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. And they were wrong on that too. So, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, look. You got to remember that Iran, Israel, all these sort of companies have a very, very checkered past. So, yeah. But, yeah, so it could be propaganda. It could be legit. I'm not quite sure. Which is why I haven't actually done a video on it just yet, guys. I'm not sure what is actually happening with all that. So, I'm just waiting to find out and sort of get some independent verification on it. Which is why I haven't covered it. But apparently John Kerry is going through and reported has been running a shadow diplomacy to try and save the deal. He's trying to undercut Trump. And it looks like Trump might actually cut the deal. So there's that. So McCain doesn't want Trump at funeral. Friends tell the White House. So this is obviously coming from mainstream media. So take it with a grain of salt. But McCain, who has been battling brain cancer, and Trump have had turbulent relationship, the senator wants Vice President Mike Pence to attend instead. So people close to Senator John McCain have told the White House that Arizona Republican does not want President Donald Trump to attend his funeral and would like Vice President Mike Pence to come instead. A source close to McCain confirmed to NBC. McCain, 81, has been battling aggressive form of brain cancer for nearly a year. Is back at home in Arizona after he underwent surgery last month for an intestinal infection. Okay. The senator, the 2008 GOP president nominee, said in an audio excerpt this week from his forthcoming memoir, "I don't know how much longer I have here," according to the clip aired by NPR. I don't know. Look, obviously President Trump would go because obviously he has legal requirements to go. And obviously it's, you know, good faith and everything like that. But look, McCain's he's a warmonger. So to be honest, I don't know if Trump would want to particularly, look, he would want to go, but I don't know if it would be on his top list of things to do. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how that would work, but apparently he doesn't want Trump to go at all anyway. He wants McCain to go instead. So, sorry, he wants Pence to go instead. So, yeah. Brooks on tax bill. Seems like what the Trump people told us would happen is happening. Let's have a quick listen to this.
But first, a lot can happen in a week. The president can again shake up his legal team and then have one of those new lawyers contradict him. And a fired congressional chaplain can get his job back. Mirabile dictu. That's for you, David. Here to make sense of it all, the analysis of Shields and Brooks. That's syndicated columnist Mark Shields and New York Times columnist David Brooks. We should explain David Brooks just back from Italy. So
apparently where you've been studying Sir Thomas Aquinas.
That's right. Exactly.
I thought he'd been to Latin America.
Like, it's a 12-minute clip. Can they just get to the point on this already?
We've had this this spectacle or this week, or this scene this week, of the president getting a new lawyer, the star of his legal team, Rudy Giuliani, coming out and contradicting him. Today, the president said, well, he'll get his facts straight. He's new on the job. And then Giuliani issuing this clarification. David, what do you make of all this?
Well, I mean, when one person tells a lie, it's what a tangled web we weave. When you've got 60 or 70 people doing it, it's like a universe of tangle. And so we've got just a universe of when did he pay off, who did the payoff, did Trump know, when did he know? Frankly, I find it all secondary. I mean, the headline here is that the President of the United States allegedly paid hush money to a porn star. I mean, what else do we need for the scandal? That sort of...
But this is the thing, right? This is their cling to hope is, oh my God, Trump paid for hush money to a porn star. Who gives a fuck? Like, seriously, Trump banging a porn star 40 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever it is, I do not care about. I do not care if Trump slept with a porn star. If the Trump presidency, and just before people go, oh, you're being partisan. No, because when Bill Clinton was banging Monica Lewinsky, I didn't care about that either. In fact, if you had known me at the time, my catchphrase at the time was, better he bang Monica Lewinsky than he bang Iraq with a whole bunch of bombs. Because of obviously the Bush candidacy before that. So no, I didn't care about Bill Clinton banging Monica or, you know, using her vagina to hold a cigarette or whatever they were doing in the Oval Office. And that was literally on the president's desk. Koppel is right. Can't handle the training. Get out. Yeah, well, there's that too, man. Yeah. Well abuse victim. Sorry. Well abuse victim better than enemy sticking the banner into you. This is military, not pussy. Yeah, I that's what I was saying about that, Raymond. To be honest, that whole thing, like, yeah, she seems like she needs to toughen up a little bit, to be honest, man. Like, yeah. I don't know, like, yeah. If that is their worst thing that they can say, that this guy's done, like, I don't know, man. I know men that have gone through military training and that have worse than that. So, I'm sorry, but yeah, if you can't handle that, then I think it's time to get the fuck out. But anyway. But, you know, like I said, they're going on about this bloody Stormy Daniels. Like, I want you to keep going on about it because it's going to make you lose the election. It's going to make you lose 2018 midterms because you're so focused on who Trump was sleeping with 20 years ago. Who frigging cares? I tell you now, Mega Base doesn't care about Trump banging a porn star. And I'll tell you what, half the mega guys are probably going to, if they get a chance, high-five Trump for banging a porn star. So I really don't think this is a big deal.
Covers it for me. And so if people are willing to tolerate that in their president, then whether the money counts as a campaign donation or not, which is one of
It only counts as a campaign donation if it came out of the campaign fund, as far as I'm aware. It didn't. It came out of his private fund. It's his private account. So at the end of the day, no, it doesn't count. And I'm sorry, but you're so desperate to get Trump on something that you're literally going on about him banging a porn star. This is the Mueller Russia probe. Russia meddled with the election. We can't prove that. So now we're going to go through the sex life of the president 20 years ago when he may or may not have slept with a porn star. Fuck me drunk. Serious?
things being argued. To me, that's not secondary, it's tertiary or something else. The main fact is we have come to this point in our country where that seems normal.
So those little details don't matter. Mark, what do you think?
I welcome David back, but I have to disagree in this sense. The Access Hollywood tape during the campaign showed that it was not a big factor to at least Trump voters at that point. But I think I'll go back to the Cuban Missile Crisis, and President John Kennedy dispatched former Secretary of State Dean Acheson to brief President Charles de Gaulle of France on what the United States had found. Now, of course, he does. And it reached the point where the Wall Street Journal, the Bible of American business, which has been sympathetic to President Trump generally, especially on his economic policy, said he's compiling a record editorially that increases the likelihood that few will believe him. Mr. Trump.
As far as I know, the Wall Street Journal is mainstream media. So I'm sorry, I do not believe the Wall Street Journal, who, chances are, if I went through and Google searched, probably ran an article stating Hillary would win. So I'm sorry, no.
Should worry that Americans will stop believing anything he says.
Probably the China-U.S. trade talks were a very big deal. The North Korea-South...
Okay, they're not getting to the point. So, Brooks stated, I was against Trump tax cuts, but the early evidence is that they're working better than I thought. So this is what they're actually going to say in the video, and they just seem to be waffling on, so I'm just going to skip the video part. And so in the first quarter, among S&P companies, capital expenditure is up 39%. That is a 7-year high. That is far higher than a lot of us thought. Stock buybacks, which just gave people, the shareholders, is only around 16%. So the evidence is coming from the first quarter seems to be that what Trump people told us was happening is happening. Companies are reinvesting the money, and so it's important to oppose what is opposable, and it's reprehensible and offensive. We've been doing that, so say for 3 years, blah, 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 blah. So it seems like the tax cuts that Trump is bringing in is actually working. The companies are reinvesting the money back into themselves, and is doing very well for the economy. Sophia said, here in Sweden we have people from Scout the Frog meme. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do a story. I will cover the Scouts in a little bit, guys, if that's what you're talking about. Not the enemy, I'm going to give a fairness. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly, Richard. Roman, sorry. At the end of the day, she's training to go to battle, and she's training to be going in a war zone. They're not going to think twice about shooting or killing her. You know, at the end of the day, if you can't handle a corporal yelling at you a little bit, then, you know, get the fuck out. But anyway. New York City mayor set to open safe drug shooting centers to combat opioid crisis. Yay. On Thursday, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasco, might be mispronouncing, unveiled a new plan to open safe drug shooting centers, supervised drug infection facilities? Injection facilities, he says, will help curb the opioid crisis sweeping the Big Apple. The opioid crisis is sweeping everywhere. It's not just there. According to the mayor's office, the site will be a safer place for drug addicts to use illegal narcotics, but drug counselors will be on hand to offer users advice on how to get clean of their drug habit, Fox News reports. I haven't seen anything that shows me that these drug-safe injecting rooms, and we have them here in Australia as well, actually do any good. I think it does a lot to normalise drug use, and I really am against it. I think that, yeah, like, I don't have a problem with people going through and doing pot, marijuana, stuff like that. I think that should be legal. But when it comes to this sort of stuff, just start executing the drug dealers, to be honest. You'll find that people will soon stop dealing drugs when their opposition starts dying off. But apparently New York City Mayor wants to unveil a new plan to open a safe drug shooting room. Yay for the Big Apple. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section regards that. Do you think that's a good thing? Or media... So, Sophia in chat, Swedish main media chasing meme on internet. I think she means meme on the internet. If you got a link to that, Sophia, through free feel to DM it to me on Twitter. Okay, so White House Correspondents Association exposed. This is something that is actually quite breaking, actually. It regularly spends about 85% of the White House Correspondents' dividend revenue on annual party and not scholarships. So, in case you're wondering what is this all about, the White House Correspondents Association, or the White House Correspondents, Association, sorry, is supposed to spend the money that it raises regarding scholarship for media and upcoming future journalists. However, it has actually since been exposed that it is actually using 85% of the funds that it raises to actually host a hate dinner, I suppose, if you want to call it that, where they basically, yeah, it's just a great big party piss up for the journalists. Now, we have recently seen this White House Correspondents' Dinner. This is the one that obviously the Michelle Wolf made her infamous speech. But yeah, it's just it's basically 85% of their funds, or what they make, is yeah, basically going through and spending on a party. So yeah, definitely interesting. The dinner itself costs around $553,000 to put on. It generated $806,000 in ticket sales and donations. A detailed account of the 2018 event is not yet available, so I'm presuming this is obviously in previous years. But last year, just 13.4% of the White House Correspondents' Dinner revenue went to scholarships. So the 108,000 went to 25 scholarships. The rest went to a general operating expense, like the organization's searchable pool report archive, or programs like panel with former White House secretaries, and the White House Correspondents Association as a whole netted just over 29,000 for the physical ending year of October 2017. BBC is so far left that they can't bend back to being neutral, even if they were. Well, she cried to the enemy, they surrender. Yeah, exactly right. That's the thing. And yeah, look, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's no, yeah, you're in the military, you know, harden up, princess, or get the fuck out. Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, who's shocked that around only 13% is actually getting to the scholarship? Not me. Over 20,000 immigrants crossed by sea to Europe on the first 122 days of 2018. Look at all those able-bodied female and children that are in the photo. Because none of them all look like a whole bunch of men. But don't worry, they're all female, right? Over 20,000 immigrants have travelled to Europe by sea for the first 122 days of 2018, according to the UN Migration Agency. Carlos dies from animal assassination. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, how do you, like, killed by a giraffe? Like, God, they're not known to be the most aggressive animal out there. So, like, what the hell was he doing to the poor giraffe? You know, like, anyway. The illegal operation for migrants recorded 22,439 sea arrivals in total, with about 42% arriving in Italy, 38% in Greece, 20% in Spain, where illegal seaborne immigration has steadily risen. People smugglers have also begun to exploit the dangerous Black Sea route to Europe for the first time since 2014 last summer, with almost 500 making landfall in Romania in the month over August-September. But the latest IOM bullet does not discuss how the situation is developing on this particular treacherous front. Ha ha ha, headbutts are dangerous, don't do this at home. Yeah. Look, man, no hands. Whee! Flying giraffe. You look, at the end of the day, I'm not surprised they're using this treacherous route. There's a lot of pressure on them regarding the normal access to these countries. So yeah, I would be very surprised if they didn't start using these sort of methods. But yeah, but 20,000 migrants to cross in the first 122 days. So what's that, around 60,000 over the year? Guys, we do actually have a video for Day of Freedom event. This is Tommy. So let's play this now.
Hold this. I just go on the stage and just point at the audience and the singer.
Okay, we're like. Sorry.
Sounds like I can hear Benjamin, Carl Benjamin there. So yeah. Holy shit, look at everybody. Holy crap. Look at everybody that friggin' turned up. Holy shit, guys. Holy crap. Alright. Well, it definitely looks like they had a decent turnout, that's for sure. I like that. Thanks, Sophia. I'll have a look at it in a sec. Oh, yeah, I got it. Thank you. That's I think that's actually breaking up on Tommy's end.
Israel, and that's where that connotation comes from, but yet you'll get people en masse singing that shit, not even understanding what it is. So there's been religious warfare for some time. And living in Glasgow, it's usually white on white. It's usually Protestant versus Catholic, but now UK wide it's turning into Jew and Christian versus Muslim, and I'm not participating in any side of the fight. And I don't think anybody else should. So, in my day of freedom, I'm getting the little bit of sun that's man, it looks like it's blue skies up there.
Okay, that's obviously not him at the event. Alright, so yeah, we're still waiting for Alright, so yeah, obviously we'll cross back over to obviously something good for Day of Freedom if something happens, but at the moment it doesn't seem to be much happening. Seems to be a decent crowd, that's for sure. There's someone claiming to be live.
That in many places it's not adhered to at all. But in Britain we had very good free speech traditions up until fairly recently. There were no laws for free speech, but there were no laws until recently.
Okay, so I found this.
But civilization.
In terms of our law, our political systems, our science, our art, our literature, and our culture. It's put the modern world where it is today. That's what our freedom of speech has achieved in the last 300 to 400 years. And now it's under attack.
So evil communist Pickle Rick said, I don't see how it's possible to ban someone from the UK considering it's a country.
What is...
Hold this. I just go on the stage and just point at the audience and the finger.
I don't know where this
stand
guy...
corrected.
I don't know where this guy is getting his feed from.
Sorry.
Some of you will have noticed.
Alright, let's get going anyway. So, a federal court proves the government loyal to Big Pharma rules cannabis use has no medical value. I disagree with the federal court on this. I do think there is a benefit to cannabis use. I have seen a lot of reports claiming that it has. So yeah, I do think that the federal court is taking a payday, for lack of a better word, I suppose. The US courts states hemp industry was dealt with a major blow on Monday after the federal US Ninth Circuit Court has upheld a decision by the Drug Enforcement Agency to list cannabis, commonly referred to as CBD, which is a non-psychoactive cannabis derivative, as a Scheduled I controlled substance under the Controllable Substance Act. The hemp industry brought a lawsuit against the government in 2016 when the DEA issued a clarification rule that claimed CBD was an illicit drug due to being a byproduct of cannabis flowers. A report in the Denver Post explained. the DEA encountered by claiming that they had similarly The DEA claimed The DEA countered by claiming that they had simply provided clarification to an existing law stating that they'd make no substance change to the government's control of a substance. At the end of the day, yeah, look, I do think that there is a lot of use when it comes to things like cannabis, and I do think that they are basically in bed with Big Pharma. So yeah, I would not be surprised if they were paid off or whatnot when it came to something like this. So at the end of the day, yeah, look, I'm not surprised they ruled in this direction. Yes, it obviously does deal a blow to the cannabis industry. But yeah, you know, they had to sort of expect this was going to happen. So yeah, I don't think they're very surprised by it at all, to be honest. And Rosie O'Donnell made several illegal oversized campaign donations to the Democrats. Imagine my shock. I just realised my face rig was not running. How about that? The actress and comedian Rosie O'Donnell exceeded the legal limit in donations to the Democratic Party candidates, according to New York Post analysis of her campaign filings. The Post reported that O'Donnell, 56, reportedly broke the Federal Election Commission and prevents an individual from giving over $2,700 to a candidate in any single election. According to what I've heard regarding this, she used various alterations on her names and different addresses and everything to get past this. I don't know how illegal this is, but at the end of the day, yeah, this is pretty serious. Some of O'Donnell's donations included $4,700 to Senator Doug Jones in his Alabama seat race against Judge Roy Moore, as well as $3,600 towards Pennsylvania Rep. Connor Lamb in March's special general election. According to campaign filings, O'Donnell gave over $90,000 in donations throughout the 2017-2018 election to 50 separate federal candidates and committees. She's also given at least $225,000 for local candidates since 2000, including a maximum donation of $4,950 to New York Bill de Basto. I don't know how illegal this is. That'll obviously be definitely something we'll obviously have to look into. But yeah, at the end of the day, Rosie O'Donnell seemingly breaking the law. Not the first time she's been in trouble by doing something like this. So, yeah. Sophia said, if I get hate crime sue from police, I avoid to go to the police station. They did not get you because they're busy on other cases. So tip, no go there. Like old people say, they're guilty, written on social media. So does that mean, Sophia, that they're just too busy to track you down? You just don't turn up to the police station? Is that what you mean by that? Alright. And Don Lemon reveals CNN will limit air Trump rallies in real time. That's alright. We got InfoWars. They'll do it. They'll do it legit for us. Yeah, true. I can understand that. So CNN anchor Don Lemon reveals that his network will limit the amount of time it devotes to airing President Donald Trump's 2020 rally unfiltered. There will be no rallies that run in real time, Lemon said at the event on Friday. There will be no such space for candidates to let rambles on. The American people will demand that. Okay, yeah, this that's a lot of crap. I'm sorry, but this just basically is them shitting a brick because of Trump winning the 2016 election. According, during the 2016 campaign, Trump used his rallies to give his perspective on issues like illegal immigration and trade that went on the counter to legacy media's preferred narrative. Sorry, counter to the legacy media's preferred narrative. Yeah, but at the end of the day, they were happy to promote Trump because they thought that Hillary would win against Trump. So they were more than happy to sit there and go against him. So, you know, now that that's backfired, they're now technically shitting a brick. So, but anyway. Lennon at the same events, after all, was said his objection as a journalist to say that Trump is a racist. Oh, yeah. Don Lemon, you're biased as shit, mate. You really, really are. And this is why CNN is failing. This is. But anyway. Some good news, and something I didn't actually get around to covering at the time, was Sargon of Akkad has raised money for his legal fund. He was asking for about £40,000 to help pay for, I meant old lady 71 set herself up to simple. Sorry, I mean old lady 71 years set herself up simple to police. Oh, okay. But yeah, Sargon of Akkad was running a campaign to help with his, obviously he's been sued by Kia, obviously, whatever it is. He is running into financial difficulties when it comes to paying off, because he's already paid over $30,000 to the lawyer. So he was looking at this costing at around $70,000 by the end of it. Since then, they have raised £87,000 over the target of $40,000, so it's around an extra $47,000. Obviously, Sargon will be happy with that. But yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, definitely good on him. I'm glad that he's got some decent donations, and I'm glad that he's going to be able to keep fighting legally. I think this just sort of relieves a little bit of burden off him. And at the end of the day, it makes it a lot easier for him to, yeah, help fund. So, I was going to do a video on it, and then by the time I got around to making the video, it had already broken the target. So, I might do a wrap-up thing of it sort of later today or something like that. But yeah, definitely they've raised over the target, £87,000, and it is still continuing to grow. So, that's kind of cool. We do have this going on.
And who's going up now?
I'm trying to find where that is. Okay, so that's actually coming up as Day of Freedom. Okay. Here we go. I might have found someone that is actually...
Were to come down. The communist countries demanded hate speech laws. They demanded hate speech laws so that they could torture and imprison political world was a very different place then, and they said no to hate speech laws. But the communists never went away. They instead began the slow march through the institutions, into our schools, into our media, into our police. And then along came Islam, through our open borders, and it too demanded hate speech laws, and the treacherous, traitorous Labour Party gave them their hate speech laws. Now make no mistake about it, what the end game is here. The Islamic alliance with the communist left, the end game is to criminalise you, to criminalise me.
Alright, so yeah, they just keep going on. We'll come back to that, guys, in a sec. Sophia has sent something. Let's check this out.
In support of Red Pill Black, dissed Obama, and posted a picture of his MAGA hat. Of course, people lost their minds, at which point rapper Chance backed Kanye, saying that black people don't have to.
Okay, so this is Angry Foreigner, guys, in case you haven't seen or don't know the voice. I think I started watching this, but I didn't get to see the whole video, so yeah, let's dive into it.
To be Democrats. Now, not only is that true, but it's especially true for rappers. It's funny how rap music is supposed to be left-wing when it's actually the most capitalist thing that there is, to the point where it becomes a caricature. Rap culture is supposed to be all, oh, the underdog, fight the power, the people, man, stick it to the man. But in actuality, big rappers make their fame talking about money, bitches, hoes, and armed robbery to achieve all these things. And yeah, I know there's underground rappers with substance, yada yada yada. I don't give a shit. I'm not talking about some obscure guy most people never heard of. I'm talking about the biggest, most famous rappers. And Kanye made a brilliant point about this in his new song, Ye versus the People. At one point, the lyrics go, I know everybody...
Sophia, I meant to talk about Sweden 71-year-old lady sued for hate speech simply to go to the police to say you did it. Avoid... No, go police. Okay, so you're saying she shouldn't go to the police because they have something better to do?
He's emotional, but is it better if I rap about crack because that's cultural? Brilliant point. Why are people judging Kanye for supporting Trump when other rappers are promoting hard drugs, violence, adultery, and greed? How are you gonna complain about racism when...
Yeah, okay, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to bother with the 71-year-old woman. I really don't. Obviously, yeah. Although they seem to want to make an example out of people that go to this sort of stuff, or that post this sort of stuff. So I imagine they would eventually get around to it, but I don't know. I'm starting to think Europe has lost a little bit. That I don't know if there's anything that Europe can do to come back. I don't know. I really. What are you going to do? Start lining up passenger 747s and start sending them back to Africa? Like, yeah.
Rappers are bragging about shooting black people. A lot of the time they sing about pimping out women, which is technically making money off of slavery. Ooh, the irony. And slave labor really is one of the most capitalist things there is. Rap music is permeated with the idea that material possessions are desirable because they elevate your social status. The idea that wealth is equal to success, which it isn't. Success is...
Yeah. Anyway, I have seen this video, Sophia. It is definitely interesting. He definitely makes a lot of good points. In this, he basically turns around and says that, you know, that rap is actually capitalist. That it is actually something that would align with the Republican side more than the Democrat side, due to the fact that, you know, it is anti-globalist, it's, you know, it's capitalist, it's small government, you know, all that sort of stuff. He has a lot of good points, but why do the left always seem to want to adopt these sort of policies and call their own? Well, because at the end of the day, they know that it's not their policy. And at the end of the day, they know that, you know, that this is... Yeah, this is just them projecting, obviously, at the end of the day. One thing I did want to talk about, and I'm sorry for giving you guys cancer, but I want to go through and I want to critique this. Where is it? Where is the video? This part. Alright, let's have a look at this. Just muting the thing.
Democratic representative is proposing a new ban on a...
By the way, in case anybody had any questions about Think Tank and the Young Turks being the same network, this is literally the chick from Think Tank being on the Young Turks panel. Like, well, if there was any doubt, because people, I know most of the people on the right know already, but people on the left claim they're different. No, they're not. This is literally her on the Young Turks panel. So, you know, there's that.
Assault-style weapons and a government program to buy them back. Now,
and how are you going to fund buying them back? Oh, you know how they were going to do it? By raising taxes. Yes, the money that they would need to go through and actually fund this. They would have to raise taxes, I think it was by 2% or something like that, or 0.2% or whatever it was. But still, they're raising taxes for people to buy back other people's guns.
an op-ed by USA Today, Representative Eric Swalwell suggested that we should ban possession of military-style semi-automatic assault weapons. We should buy...
Why do they keep going after assault weapons when 90-something% of gun violence happens by pistols? Black on black crime? Sorry, black on black crime? Over 95%, I think it is, was done by a handgun. So why are they going on about assault rifles so much?
Back such weapons from all who choose to abide by the law, and we should criminally prosecute any who choose to defy it by keeping their weapons. Now, in his proposal, he says that we should pay about $1,000 per gun, depending on the style of gun, and he conceded that the cost to the government could run as high as $15 billion, depending on...
$15 billion to buy back these guns. I haven't even done the math to see how honest that is yet, but that in itself seems, while it seems ridiculously high, I think they're underestimating how much it'll cost.
On the price paid for each weapon, but he says it's a drop in the bucket compared to the $4 trillion the U.S. is expected to spend this year. He says...
Yes, but it spends that over its entire total budget. It's not spending $4 trillion on schools, for example. It's $4 trillion on schools, health, education, military, everything. Like, you know, like, but it's only a drop in the bucket. No, not really. It's really not a drop in the bucket.
What is it worth to American taxpayers to not see our families, friends, and...
You like the fact that they always go on about emotional? What's it worth to see our friends, our neighbours cut down in hail of gunfire? I'm surprised I haven't mentioned kids in the actual sentence.
Neighbors cut down in a hail of gunfire. Consider this an investment in averting carnage and heartache and loss.
So why are they not going after handguns? If they're so worried, they always use emotional against... Yeah, they do actually. If they're so worried about gun violence and people going on about gun violence and people dying because of gun violence, why are they only going on about semi-style automatic rifles? Why are they not going on about handguns?
This is a pretty big deal because prior gun control proposals never really talked about what we were going to do about the assault-style weapons that are already in circulation. And he's saying we need to buy them back. We need to get them off the streets, get them out of houses. And this is pretty revolutionary.
It's against the friggin' Constitution. That's what it is. It's not revolutionary. It's against the Constitution to bear arms. But anyway.
I'm split on this. I'm split on this because I keep thinking, hi guys, people in Flint still don't have running water that they can drink.
I agree with that point. The $4 billion or whatever, $14 billion or whatever it was that they were going to spend it on Flint, Michigan. Spend it on that industry getting drinking water, or spend it on businesses, reinvesting businesses to come back to America. Not buying frigging guns that people have legally brought because you have a problem with it.
You know, and they could use the 15 billion or whatever amount of money, and I just feel like I see where it makes sense and I see where it doesn't make sense. We have limited resources, so should we be spending them just enriching people that were poop crazy enough to buy these guns in the first place?
But people are. This is the demonization of the people that are pro Second Amendment. Batshit crazy. He's batshit crazy. This one who wants a gun to you know, batshit crazy. You know, like well, actually, you find out later there's a gun owner on this panel who has a handgun for protection. Is she batshit crazy for having a semi-automatic pistol? No, of course not. So what's the difference?
So yeah, that I don't find persuasive, I'll be honest, because we waste so much money on so many things. I mean, that tax cut cost us $1.9 trillion. That went straight to the rich and to corporations.
No, it didn't. Oh my God, Junk is so full of shit. The tax cut, yes. The rich did get a slight tax cut. But what the Young Turks are failing to mention here is that what it also did was allow you to go through, and it cut out a lot of the benefits that the rich would claim. So while the rich got their tax cut, they also lost financial gain areas in sort of claiming back things for their businesses. You know, offsets and stuff like that. The actual fact is that while they did free up some of the money for the rich, they lost it in what they claim or what they could claim for a business expense. So, I'm sorry, but Jake, you're full of shit. And you know it. You know you're crap. You know you're bullshit.
It's nothing compared to that. And it would save a ton of lives. The other part of this that...
the Young Turks is... Yeah, I know. It's a complete joke. That's why I'm watching this video and going through it.
Is interesting.
I meant to do this video before today, but I've just been flat out, so I thought I'd just do it tonight.
Is that in Australia it worked? They did this, and it totally.
No, it didn't work. Stop commenting on something you do not know, Jake, or commenting on something that you are blatantly misrepresenting. You know how many gun buyback systems that we've had in Australia since this? 3 or 4. 3 or 4 times they've had to go through and buy back weapons. And you know what it didn't change? The homicide rate in Australia. There was no sizable difference in a homicide rate in Australia after the gun buyback system. So don't sit there and claim that it's for the better, because it didn't actually do shit.
Totally worked. They had a mass shooting in the 1990s. They banned assault weapons and bought back weapons. Right. Okay, and they have not had a single mass shooting since then.
And guess what? Before the 1990s, how many mass shootings did we have? 0. Port Arthur was a once in a blue moon. Okay, it was a massacre that happened once, and they used it, they capitalized on it to buy back assault rifles. I would actually love to go through and to investigate that, because there is just something weird about a once in a while we have a massacre, like this one-off massacre, and all of a sudden we do the whole gun buyback thing. It just seemed really convenient that the only time Australia has had this mass murder from that just seemed to be the time that they want to buy back guns. So I don't know. It was weird, wasn't it?
Us, on the other hand, we average one mass shooting per day in America. That
A mass shooting a day. He's literally claiming now America has mass shootings every day. That is complete bullshit. Complete bullshit.
Obviously, we're larger than Australia, but still stunning.
Yeah, and your population is over 10 times the amount. I would love to see where you've got one mass shooting a day.
Numbers, huge numbers. But Hannah's right. This is revolutionary. Not just ban assault weapons. We've done that before under Clinton. That's not the current law, but that would be amazing. We're nowhere near that right now. But buybacks, and then the one that's really going to get conservatives or gun rights owners, gun owners are upset is criminally prosecute people who don't give it back, which, that's fighting.
Yeah, please run on this campaign. I want the Democrats to run on this campaign because the Republicans, I know what's going to happen with the 2018. The Republican votes are going to be lower than they normally should be. Because the Republicans are going to be, we won, we got Trump in the office, everybody take a break. They're going to coast it in. And the Democrats will come up and steal this election or this midterms because of that. If they run on this campaign, it will force the Republicans to get out and vote. So please, for the love of God, but for the love of the Trump base, run on this campaign. I want you to run on this campaign. Run on a gun buyback and legal prosecution of anybody that does not hand in their firearms. Because I tell you now, the mega base will be so energized, everybody will turn up. Please do run on. Yeah, exactly, Eric, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because the Trump base will be so energized, everybody will frigging turn out to vote.
Well, but I mean, that's just logic. If it makes sense. If these are now illegal and now you have one, it is illegal. I mean, what's so hard to understand about that? Move somewhere where it's legal if you want to keep your gun. Because a lot of gun owners are small government anyway, so move to a small government that makes sense for your lifestyle. And as you know, I'm a gun owner, and I have been for many years. I live alone in Hollywood. I love going to, and the reason why I picked up shooting.
She stopped there. I wonder what she was going to say. She says, I'm a gun owner, I love going to, and then she stops. I was going to say, I bet you she was going to say, she loved going to the rifle range. She loves going to the firing range. I bet you, yep, I've got it, thanks Sophie, it'll be up next. I bet you that's what she was going to say. That she was going to talk about going to the firing range.
In the first place was because it terrified me, and I was sick of backing away from things that terrified me, and I was sick of things like guns and other things having power over me, and that fear always being over my head. So I got through it. I respect it. I understand it, and it's a big deal to me. That being said, I guess I'm kind of the opposite because I think this is a great idea. I think this makes sense. I know it's expensive, but even optics means something. The rest of the country looks at, you know, California, Silicon Valley, you know, we're supposed to be on the cutting edge of everything, and we're...
This is Silicon Valley, this is California, that at the moment has 40-something% unemployment? Wait, hang on, what's the unemployment level? That can't be right. So the unemployment rate in California is 4.3%, which is higher than the national average. It's actually climbing. The California rate is... it's actually up around 4.9% now. It's actually going up. Oh no, sorry, it's going down. Sorry, it was 4.9, it's going down to 4.3. Which is, considering the national average is dropping, yeah. Not surprised.
Not getting our crap together. So at the very least, show the rest of the country this is what we're willing to do.
Gina, do you own an AR-15?
Hell no! And that's exactly the point.
And let's talk about it. Like what you mentioned, Helen, as well. It's like a lot of the people.
Thanks, Chicago. Thanks, buddy.
People that are buying these AR-15s are frankly
crazy.
Well, I'm just saying they are in lower income communities. They're predominantly white, and if we can persuade them.
Lower income, oh my god, low income communities. Really? I would love to see the research on that. Because to me, an AR-15 is not cheap. An AR-15 is frigging expensive. So you're going to tell me a low income community is going through and spending several $100s to buy a rifle? That does not make sense to me.
With $2,000, $3,000 to give up these guns and not shoot up a school, I think that is the best money that we can spend as tax.
Yeah, the Young Turks is pure comedy and tragedy. Yeah, I know, man. It's it's pretty funny to watch, but yeah, they're not getting my AR for sure. Yeah, man, Eric, I totally agree, man. Then this is the problem with the left. They constantly brand gun owners as, oh, you're going to shoot up a school. Name an NRA member who has shot up a school. There's not one. Right, with all the guns out there, majority of the people that own guns, the overwhelming percentage of people that own guns are not shooting up schools. Okay? It is a very, very fraction of a percent of people that do that. So stop blaming people for something a small fraction of people are actually doing.
Taxpayers, honestly. And the fact that we bring up the prosecution aspect of it, I mean, if we're willing to criminally prosecute people who, are carrying weed, yeah, let's criminally prosecute people who are carrying these assault-style weapons that are used in the military.
Oh my god, the ignorance is so... How many people are literally carrying an AR-15 down the street when they go shopping? Or whatever it may be. And the people that are getting arrested for weed is because it's illegal. Who's the Dem candidate for 2020? There's no idea yet, Chicago. They haven't listed one. I'm thinking they might try and run The Rock. Oh my god, I agree. The ignorance is... Yeah, I know, man. It's painful to watch, I know. But yeah, the 2020 candidate for Dems, they haven't ran anyone yet. They haven't listed anybody. I think they'll try and run someone black, maybe someone female or someone male. I'm thinking they might try and run The Rock, if he runs. Or they'll try and run a celebrity to counter to Trump's celebrity. Sophia, you're going to run as a Democrat, are you?
Yeah, well, that's a great point because, man, gee, I wonder what's more dangerous, a joint or an AR-15? And
yeah, but this is the thing. The fact is that the joint is illegal. The AR-15 isn't. This is why you get arrested. You are literally breaking the law when carrying the joint. I don't agree with that law. I think the joint should be legal. You should be able to have marijuana on you. But the fact of the matter is that it is illegal to carry that. That is why you're getting arrested. Not because it's dangerous, but because it's against the law. No, Sophia, it's not a joke. I want you... No, okay. Everybody, let's get Sophia to run. All right, come on, Sophia. We want you to run. All right, Democrat candidate 2020. Don't forget the Young Turks on election night classic. Yeah, I've seen the shots of that. It was pretty embarrassing to watch for them. They were literally just in shock. But
Jeff Sessions may disagree with your point, but
I disagree with Jeff Sessions going after people for marijuana use, by the way.
we'll hold back from that.
So would Dianne Feinstein until recently, until Alison Harson made her change her position. Anyway, in terms of the...
Oh, sorry, Feinstein was against it? Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
The Bible...
Yeah, I know. We're just doing this, Sophia. Chicago, their meltdown was hilarious. We might actually watch it, actually. Can someone... see if I can find it. I'll play this, so I'll find it.
Look, I don't want people to get the wrong impression. You don't own an assault rifle. I'm with Helen. I think that's crazy. I don't get it at all. I don't know what you need it for. Are the deer that dangerous?
If you're that bad at hunting, go to Arby's, because you shouldn't be shooting.
Right.
I don't understand the hunting argument at all.
Yeah.
But I don't...
I feel like people who are stockpiling AR-15s are not going to be the first ones on, in line to be like, yeah, I'll take your $2,000 to, here.
Yeah.
No, they won't. That's the thing. And I'll tell you who also won't be in line to do that. Criminals. The criminals will not be doing it either. So, at the end of the day, what's this going to do? You're going to take the guns away from people who are law-abiding, and it's not going to affect the mass shootings or anything like that. So, no.
I just don't...
But they might, I mean, $2,000's a lot. But I want to be clear, though. Not everybody who owns an assault rifle is going to go shoot people, right?
Oh, that was very generous of you there, Jen. Please, thank you very much.
That's not the point we're making. But a certain percentage of the people who have assault rifles will. We know that. We know that for a fact. So if we get them off the streets, that means a certain percentage of people will not go on a ramp.
So, okay, so by that logic, a certain percentage of people are going to go through and drive a car into a crowd of people. Does that mean we stop Muslims for driving now? Or we stop hiring vans to Muslim drivers? Is that what you're advocating for? That is the same logic, right? Certain percentage of people shoot people. Certain percentage of people drive vans into publics. Certain percentage use guns to kill people. Certain percentage use vans to kill people. So we'll stop Muslims and people from hiring vans. Alright, done.
Because
hey, it's their logic, right?
They won't have an assault rifle. Or if they do, they'll do it with rope. Or, by the way, another gun, but that doesn't kill as many people. And hence will save a lot of lives.
You know what they'll use? They'll use pistols. Or what they'll use is knives. Which is why the UK at the moment is currently banning knives now. How'd that gun violence work out for you?
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button.
Oh, yeah,
down below.
Facepalm, yes, facepalm is definitely how I feel about that. I can't find anything about logic. Yeah, I can't find anything about their election night. So, all right, we got 2 videos from Celine. One is the cultural elite of Sweden. So this is only a 3-minute video, so let's check this one out. And then we got a crazy feminist video.
Good day. We have a cultural elite in Sweden, like everybody else. And back in 2015-16.
So this is from the YouTube channel Sanity for Sweden, I think it was. Sanity for Sweden, yep.
They were quite aggressive. See, many of them. They competed on who was the goodest. So they attacked people who complained about mass immigration. Called them
virtual signaling. That's all they were doing, was just virtual signaling.
Racist and xenophobic and so on. and now they are silent. I noticed this silence, you see, and it made me curious. I have two examples. Magnus Bettner, he's a stand-up comedian, and he published a video back in 2015 where he said that Sweden's never been safer, and he told the Swedish citizens to stop complaining because Sweden's never been safer. You see?
It's funny, isn't it? Hey Sophia, tell us in chat, how safe is Sweden now? Has Sweden ever been safer? Or do you think that is a direct contradiction of how you currently feel that your town is or your country is feeling right now? So let us know in chat. Do you think Sweden has ever been safer, or do you think it's sliding into the black abyss of rape and multiculturalism?
He's quite famous for this video, by the way. And then there is Malena Ernman. She's an opera singer. She was very aggressive back in 2015, 2016. Yes. And then I found this thread on Malena Ernman's Facebook account. This is from 2015, where she publishes this idea about Sweden never being safer. And there are comments from friends of hers, I suppose, or fans, I don't know. And I have to read them. First there's a woman, she says, I walk outside our door.
Sophia said facepalm logic, you think? Yeah, definitely. Chicago said, in Chicago, cops won't even bother you if it's one or two joints or blunts. Go anywhere on the public like they smell the scent of weed on the air. You detect it on people as they walk by you. Yeah, and that's the thing. I was literally watching a video where it was like some sort of massive festival or stoner festival that was down near Texas. And it was actually InfoWars reporting on it, actually. And at the end of the day, the cops weren't even bothering people with the marijuana or the weed. So the whole argument that, you know, you'll get stopped for a joint, it's only in places where it's illegal. And then even sometimes they won't even bother.
Every day. And I don't feel that there's anything extraordinary about it. And then there's a guy, he says, we experience the same thing here. Many cultures and very safe. Everybody's cheering and assists one another if needed. It's like a big family.
Sophia, let us know in chat. Do you feel that the migrants that come to Sweden are currently assisting the women of Sweden in anything but gang rapes? Or is that what you may be thinking that they're... Let us know how you feel regarding the mass migration. Actually, probably shouldn't, actually, considering where you live. I don't want to lose a sub to go to jail.
Then there are 6 smiling emois. And then there's a woman, she says, I thought so, exclamation point. It can't be unique that several nationalities can live together. So, yeah. So here it is. And I think the reason why this elite is now silent is this. You know? This is a statistic of physical assault in Sweden. It goes from 1950 up to 2009, and this is the statistic. Yeah, I know it's awful.
I shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't laugh, but that graph in itself shows you how freaking safe Sweden is right now. Let's back that up a bit. Just back that up a bit.
Yeah, I know it's... Yeah, it goes from 1950 up to 2009. It goes from 90 statistic of physical assault in Sweden.
So this is a graph of physical assaults in Sweden. right? There's the graph. Yet they're sitting there claiming that Sweden is, quote, never been safer. There is literally the graph showing the difference over the past 60 years of how safe Sweden has become. That is not safe, dude. That is the worst. That is Sweden skyrocketing in assaults. When you literally have people in chat, and I won't mention names, claiming that refugees have been branded refugees or refugees. Like, it's just, it's people living in their houses that have great big fences with private security, that live in nice rich areas, that are the elite of Sweden, who don't know the shit that everybody else is having to put up with because of the refugees.
Yeah, I know, it's awful. But there it is.
And I apologize for laughing to the people of Sweden. I really do. It's just, after a while, you can't help but just sit there and just think that it's so insane to literally try and make the argument that Sweden has never been safer when a guy is literally holding a graph stating the opposite.
Okay, and here's another one. I think I showed this before. It's attempted and actual rape. It goes from 1975 till 2014. Attempted and actual rape.
That... Attempted rapes over the past 30 or 40 years. Hashtag Sweden's never been safer. Oh my god, really? It's never been safer. What is your argument for Sweden never been safer when there is a graph showing attempted and actual rapes in Sweden? Hashtag Sweden's never been safer though. Just bury your head in the sand and hopefully it'll work. Eric, sometimes you gotta laugh at the madness. Yeah, man, totally agree. You can't help it. You just gotta laugh. And Sweden, Sophia said, love take over owner, taxpayer money. Okay. I think she's saying that they take the taxpayers' money and give it to the refugees. I think that's what she's saying there.
In Sweden, there it is. It's absolutely disgusting. And it continues. This is 2014, right? But it continues to go up.
Yeah, I think it jumped by 1,000% over the past few years. There was over 1,000% increase in rapes over the past so many years. I actually ran a story on it several months ago.
After that peak. Okay.
We're going to need a bigger graph, people!
So I think this is the reason why they are silent, because this is well known in Sweden by now. And of course these people are depending on public. They need people to come and see them and listen to them. Yeah. I know, it's pathetic. Yes. I wish you a fantastic weekend. Bye.
Yeah. I actually like that guy. Subscribe. He's only got 5,000 subs too. Critically undersubbed. But then I can't talk. I'm the same, I suppose. Why am I not subbed to Styx Hexenhammer? Or Rebel. Okay, that's weird. Alright, and we have another video as well. This is the Crazy Feminist compilation. So, everybody, get your bleach. Okay, so this is from Barbara to C. Just get that, and we'll play that.
What's happening? internet. So this is kind of an extension of my Big Trouble Little Europe episode, Sweden episode, because it's just something that I wanted to make a separate video on, because it deserves that much attention. So I'm doing this one first. I'm actually reversing the logic, and I'm doing this one first, and I'm doing this, covering Sweden in general after that. So
she does waffle on a little bit and have trouble explaining. Obviously, look, English is not her first language, but she's such a darling. But I was going to say, but yeah, she does waffle on a little bit.
There is about to be a general election in Sweden in September 2018. And of course, preparations for that election are already massive, including from Feminist Initiative. Now, Feminist Initiative...
Hey, Sophia, let us know in chat, how do you think the general election is going to go? Because, as far as I know, even these social democrats, and we'll get to this in a sec, have actually called for a reduction in the amount of immigrants to Sweden. Yeah. Even these social democrats want less people in frigging Sweden. Nothing says you are losing the culture war or having a bit of a problem with mass migrants when even these social democrats want to reduce. But I'll cover that in a sec after this.
Is a party, the first feminist party that has entered in 2014. And with the general election coming, they are trying to push forward. Feminist Initiative is something you could call radical feminist party. And the person most recently elected to be a leader of this party is Gita Nabawi. I have no...
She has about as good as pronunciation as I do sometimes.
Clue how to pronounce those names, so I'm just gonna pronounce them the way I do. Anyway, she is in absolute favor of opening borders completely, having 0 deportations at such and such and such. And before I get into what her philosophy is, I just want to point out, as of 2010, 1.33 million people, or 14.3% of the inhabitants of Sweden were foreign-born.
How do you feel about that, Sophia, in chat? You know, 14% of your population is foreign. How do you feel that do you feel that you might be getting replaced by any chance? You probably shouldn't comment on that.
That's all. That's all I'm throwing out there. Ideally, I would like to see that we have completely open borders and that no one is deported. We are working that direction. Just like everybody else in the feminist movement, we are here because we want change. We look at our environment, at our society and the world, and we know we can do this better. In that case, we should deport anyone who commits crimes and murders. Where would they have to go? Just because they are not born here does not mean they are not our responsibility.
Sophia just touched on something on chat that I was going to say when I actually covered this story. The Social Democrats have called for halving the amount of refugees. I also think, and I was going to say this is just not me agreeing with her, but I was going to say it sounds like it might be something they're trying to use to try and win favour or try and win the vote, because they know that people do not want mass open borders. So yeah, I agree with her when she says that it's something to say to get votes.
I believe it's odd to expel people. Should we also expel people who happen to have been born here? It's a slippery slope. Why it makes... I think...
Oh my god. No, you don't expel people that were born in your country. Because guess what? It's their fucking country. Oh my god, they're stupid.
A plane is just about to take off outside my window. What is that noise? Am I being taken?
Focus! Barbara, focus. Oi, focus. Alright, focus.
That's not good, guys. Why make a difference between people at all? Are not all people human? Now, if we look at this picture...
I don't know, they're raping people like animals, so, you know. Go SD or AFS. Yeah. Social Democrats, she's saying, or AFS. I can't remember what AFS is again, actually.
The fuck is happening today?
There's a truck backing outside, obviously. Close your freaking window, darling.
Anyway, if we look at this picture, yeah, that tells you everything. I want to bring attention to two members of this feminist initiative. One posted a question.
She's actually kind of hot for a feminist. You know, anyway.
What spas and good food is recommended when you visit Auschwitz, because she wants to make it a girls trip that will be pleasant and, you know, including spa and shopping and malls, which of course she later on deleted, but the way
that was a Nazi concept. Oh my god. Okay, she's hot, but she's dumb as a fucking brick.
she apologized was because of this post. She said that she was stormed by Nazis, racists, and other right-wing extremists whose...
Really? Because you're the one that wants to go to Auschwitz and have a spa. I'm sure the Nazis would have loved you going to Auschwitz to have a spa. Not the opposite, okay? Make the stupidity stop.
Hatred ultimately forced her to remove the post. So it wasn't really the fact that she was asking for spas when visiting Auschwitz. No. It was the Nazis.
The Nazis made me do it. The Nazis made me do it. It wasn't the fact that it was a stupid post in the first place
that made her remove the post. And let's not forget the first black leader of the party that was elected in 2017 and quit.
Oh my god, look at the hair.
2017.
Look, the hairy armpits. And just like, ugh. If we've still got guys in the chat, just let me know. The one in the brown top and the pink leotard. Fuck, marry or kill. What would you guys do? I'm not gonna say my answer. And trust me, it's not anything to do with banging her.
And quit into.
Maybe they could send her to Auschwitz. Welcome to the demonetization stream.
2017 for personal reasons, but in reality she was discovered that she plagiarized a bunch of stuff, not only that time, but also in 2013. Well, great job, because people are just so happy to be like, oh my god, first black something, first black president, first black leader.
So what was she doing? She was plagiarizing scripts or speeches or something?
First black artists to win this, they just forget everything. They just forget to look into the person. They're just like
Obama, like, you know, the president who literally won the Nobel Peace Prize or the Nobel Peace Prize and spent more time at war than any other US president currently.
This is progressiveness. This is great. We are so ahead of time. We are so with the 21st century, man. Sorry, I had a lot of caffeine. A funny thing to also mention with this woman is that some school areas in Sweden have segregated buses and classes. Girls have to go at the back of the bus and boys are allowed to be in the front, which kind of reminds you of Little Something, doesn't it? But her philosophy is that it is due to patriarchy and that there is a culture of racist policies that rather aggravates problems and prevents us from seeing the real causes of the oppression of the patriarchy. So you...
Oh my god, the patriarchy. They want to blame that for everything. Oh my god, you're stupid. Can we get all these liberal leftists? Can we just line them up, put them on a bus? And no, we're not going to send them to Auschwitz, don't worry. But send them to a country where they can all go and live. They can all go and live in a country, and they can screw that country up as much as they want. And the rest of the world can just be happy without them.
You know, when it comes to men in general, you know, they are all evil. And
Yep, blame the white man. That damn white man, I tell you. Even Kanye now. Oh, you know, that Kanye, he's just too white now. Don't get me started on that.
patriarchy. But you know, when it comes to a certain group of people, they are allowed to do stuff because racism. Yeah, sure, that makes a fuck ton of sense.
It kind of doesn't, does it? I like this clip. This clip sums up how I think the elites act. This is how.
Better here with intellectuals, isn't it, boys?
I'm sorry, that's I had to play it. Alright. And we have the Young Turks meltdown on... This is going to be good. The Young Turks meltdown on election night. Let's have a look at this. I haven't seen this in full yet.
All right, well, the Young Turks special election day coverage, regular show dropping.
So you even have Wisconsin and Minnesota, which is, come on.
It just means that...
Like, even on the board, they even wrote Drumpf. Like, oh my god, you're idiots. You're so freaking smug, aren't you?
We can take them off a more fun part of the board.
Also,
and give them to Hillary Clinton. But yeah, I got you. We could obviously move those over to Hillary Clinton right now if you want.
Uh-huh.
If you want.
Let's play that again.
We could obviously fun part of the board. Means that we can take them off.
So you even have Wisconsin and Minnesota. So you even have Wisconsin and Minnesota.
You even have Wisconsin, Minnesota as Trump, right? That's what they said.
Just, come on.
It just means that we can...
Like, come on. Like, so smug. They really... Eric said, put them on the big island and be done with it. Yeah, can we fire them out of cannons into the island? Can we do that, please?
Take them off a more fun part of the board.
Also,
and give them to Hillary Clinton. But yeah, I got you. We could obviously move those over to Hillary Clinton right now if you want.
Now remember, the Young Turks said that Wisconsin, Minnesota, I think it was going to go to Hillary. All right, remember that.
Want?
Trump won it. Yes, use the cannons. Yes. Yeah, definitely. We're going to put them in the cannons. Like Sea of Thieves styles. Stuff them in the cannons. Fire them. And hopefully they land in the water or on the island.
Look, this election's over, okay? And Trump cannot win. He can't win for...
This election's over. Trump cannot win. Remember that, everybody. Hello, TJ. How are you, buddy? We're having a look at the Young Turks. We're going through the Young Turks meltdown from 2016 election.
A number of reasons. I mean, putting aside his xenophobia, racism, sexism, and all that you know, gets Latinos and other groups to vote in large numbers. He's incompetent. He's just flat out incompetent. So I always thought this election was over a long.
Trump's economy, Trump's incompetent, right? So it's not like the unemployment is at all-time lows. It's not like the black unemployment is at an all-time low. It's not like the Dow Jones is insanely high at the moment and smashed records for how many times now? It's not like, you know, thousands of companies have come back from overseas investments back into the US, which is a story we literally covered earlier tonight. I'm glad to see Trump is incompetent as they predicted on 2016.
Time ago, because you don't just make up that ground game in an instant. That takes months and months of preparation, which you never did. But I think Hillary will have 320 electoral votes when it's all said and done, plus or minus 5. So I never bought into your fear mongering.
I think that most of us at this point are actually doing really well with predictions, despite our during the primaries being so far off. I think one thing is that for the most part, general elections, there's some really great data. Give or take a couple states where polling isn't great. But for the most part, I mean, listen, yes, there's going to be the secret Trump voter. There's also going to be the secret Hillary voter. And every qualified pollster I've spoken to realizes that those numbers pretty much cancel each other out. So I think it's...
Okay, yeah. How'd that election go for you back in 2016 again?
It's going to be a big win for Hillary.
And those...
A pretty big one for Hillary. She's going to win big, people. Remember that, right? Win big in 2016. How'd that work out again?
Last-minute polls that had swung in Hillary Clinton's direction gave us a... I don't know about you guys. It gave me a little bit of relief, right? Because I was worried that it was tightening over the weekend, and then the surge did not come for Trump, according to polling. It came for Hillary Clinton. Now, right now, there isn't anything too much to be worried about. She could lose Florida, by the way, and Ohio, and North Carolina, and still win.
Virginia, 10% reported.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Buckle up.
54-41.
Trump.
Yeah. Just believe it.
No.
161,000, 123,000.
No. I'm now actually worried. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I love it. I really do. I love this 2016 election. It was... They were so smug. They were so... Trump has no chance of winning. You know, blah, blah, blah. Like...
I'll tell you, look, it got quiet in here the minute we started reporting these real results.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep, it got quiet. Oh, yeah, it got quiet, all right.
And if that continues, there is going to be a pall in here.
So we're about halfway done with counting in Florida, getting close to halfway done, and Trump with a 100,000 vote lead. That's a lot of early votes.
Right, that has already changed. So, Ben, what's the latest in Florida? What is the percentage?
49.8, 2.5 points, 2.4 point lead for Hillary.
She has a 2.4 point lead, everybody.
Eric says 2016 was a crazy year altogether. Dude, yeah, 2016, it's like that they fired up this great big hydroscope thing. They must have fired it up or something on the day of the election, and it swung us into a parallel universe or something. That there's... I can't explain 2016. I really can't. Trump winning the election, just even weird things that happened. You know, the mainstream media losing the ad apocalypse, that everything was just so frigging weird, and it's continuing on. It really is. Dude, I'm just gonna say it's me magic. It really is.
Yes. Don't panic. She's here comes Hillary. Okay, so if you are on Trump team right now, you're panicked. Right. You had the same moment we had about 20 minutes ago, where you're like, wait a minute, she's not only up in Florida, but she's up in New Hampshire and Ohio and North Carolina. Electoral college right now, 60 to 44. Donald Trump has retaken the lead from Hillary Clinton. That part is totally irrelevant.
So he got a 9.
Electoral college. That part's totally irrelevant. Let's not focus on the electoral college, all right? Because that's totally irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Oh, that's not how the elections are decided. Right, sure.
Who did they call? Alabama. Oh, following. We didn't declare Tennessee, but now Alabama has gone.
Tennessee and Alabama have gone to Donald Trump. This is devastating news / irrelevant. Back on the Young Turks election coverage, I have 2 things to report.
The Young Turks is like CNN's little brother, but more fake. Yeah, incredibly biased too. Look, I watch their content like daily. I hate watch, I must admit. And the amount of shit and bullcrap that they've put out, I could literally sit here all day and just make videos rebutting the Young Turks. The amount of bullshit they say is insane. It really, really is insane.
One, it's panic.
The only problem is I wouldn't get around to actually reporting on the real news because I'll try to be debunking everything they say.
Time. 2, I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee. Now shit gets real.
Wow, it just dropped 5%.
Okay,
so the calculation,
by the way,
hold on, this is serious. So the calculation that the New York Times has had as a running prediction of winning the presidency. Last time I glanced at it, John, I don't know if you've been looking at that win presidency meter below the states, below the map. Well, it was it was at 80% an hour ago for Clinton.
What is it now?
68%.
Okay, God damn it, I'm nervous. It is fucking panic time. New Hampshire has flipped. He's now leading 48-47. So he's leading in Florida, Virginia, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and Ohio is now an 8-point lead for Trump.
Here's what just happened, and this thing was at 80% 2 hours ago when we were talking the upshot in the New York Times forecast of who's likely to win. Donald Trump, now the favorite to win the presidency, 51%.
Jesus.
Oh, I love it. I really do. The funny thing is that before this election, there was an anonymous poll. Anonymous went through and ran 5,000 people, I think it was, out of every state. And they predicted that Trump would win. This is something that mainstream media will not report on. Anonymous actually did the work and rang 5,000 people out of every state, and they said Trump was going to win the election. And they were right. They were the only ones that I know that called it. So, Eric, I was on the edge of my seat personally when I was watching the election map flip with colour onto my phone. Yeah, I must admit, I wasn't actually... Okay, so we started this web channel, or this YouTube channel, the day after Trump winning the election, or the day Trump won the election. This channel was started to combat the fake news that was going to be put out because we knew they were going to be doing it regarding Trump. It's not a pro-Trump channel per se. We will criticize Trump for everything that he does wrong, and every presidency that comes through, we will obviously be reporting on and reporting non-partisanly on. But yeah, this channel was started because of CNN's fake news, and we knew that mainstream media was not going to be unbiased when it came to Trump. So we thought that we would start a YouTube channel, call it Nonpartisan Media, that would actually go through and be non-partisan when it comes to Trump. Like, we can support Trump. Yeah, we do. But at the end of the day, we will give him his licks for things like Syria. Watch my Syria video. I was pissed. Raymond said election night was like a bad comedy night to the... I think it was a bad nightmare, dude. I really think it was a bad nightmare. But that said, we can't rest on our morals. 2018 is going to be tough. And 2018, we need to make sure everybody gets out and votes. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are going to take it easy because Trump had already won. Raymond said, Rosie is illegally oversized on a truck stop. Ouch. Yeah, she's also, I don't know if you caught the earlier story, she's in trouble for illegal contributions to campaigns for the Democrats. So there's that too.
Trump now at 53% forecast to be the president of the United States. It increases literally with every moment that a state like Virginia gets closer to being called for Trump.
This is the most haunting thing I have ever had, we've ever had.
Look at Anna. Anna is literally just sitting there thinking, how did this happen? How did we not see this? Look at her. Like, she's just sitting there literally just going, this is a nightmare. This is not real. She's just in complete... She's just lost it. This guy here looks like he's about to go and walk out in freaking traffic. Cenk is sitting there thinking like, I want to go back to Mexico or something, or wherever he's from. This guy over here, he's looking a little bit smug, actually. I think he might be a secret Trump supporter. I don't know. He's looking very smug in this shot, isn't he?
On the Young Turks, 14 years we've been on the air. Nobody else has called it yet. I'm calling it. It's a 10-point lead with 51% reporting, 53-43 for Trump. Trump's going to win Ohio. So Ohio is now gone. Okay. Now I've got my New York Times likelihood of winning updating, because I had to switch out and refresh on my iPad here. Trump, and it goes, and it kept going. It's like 50, 51, 52, 50. 61% chance of winning for Donald Trump.
This is insane.
I loved it. I really did. I love the fact that the people rose up against Clinton. They rose up against the establishment, against political correctness and everything that happened that night. I love the fact that it happened. I really do.
Oh.
It is. It's the case of people literally saying, "You're so corrupt, we are going to flip the table over." And yeah, I don't think anybody in America has looked back yet. Look, the Syria thing, obviously he's done that twice now, and that's a concern. North Korea, I call it the Crazy Ivan theory. So that was obviously something that's worked out in his favour. But yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't know, guys, over in America. You guys let me know. Do you think Trump has done a bad job? TJ, I always wondered why the Young Turks is losing a lot of ratings over the years, but what's keeping them from shutting down? Donation. They received a 20 million, I think it was. They received a 20 million kickstart or something. Yeah, they had some leftists start their organisation and offer them mass amounts of money to start.
Wow. For the Trump presidency, brace for impact. New York Times now saying the chance of a Trump presidency is 92%. Brace for impact. The terror. Well, you know, we call this place Rebel Headquarters, and we were rebelling against the establishment.
You are the establishment, you moron! Oh my God! We're the rebel. We're the fighting this stuff. No, you are a cog in the establishment. You do realize that, right? You big ass water buffalo.
And now this will be true rebel headquarters as Trump and his cronies begin their march against our freedoms. Talk about how historically.
Raymond says maybe inside help from YouTube. Ray, I don't know if they're being suppressed like the rest of us are. I think they are, but you got to remember that even these guys are considered far out there progressives. So, like, even to the people at YouTube, which are progressive, these guys are way out there. These are, you know, like, these are Bernie supporters. This is the thing. People always think, oh, Democrats, Republicans. No, these might list as Democrats, but, and this is something that Clinton actually touched on. Clinton said that she lost the presidency because she was a capitalist. No, that's not true. Because Trump won because he's a capitalist. Well, one of the reasons Trump won was he's Trump's capitalism never stopped him, never affected him. She doesn't have the support of the... She doesn't have the support of some of the Democratic voters because she's a capitalist, because they're all communists, they're all Bernie supporters, they're all leftists. You know, these guys, the Young Turks, the Bernie supporters, they're all communists. They all want communism and all that. Well, except for Cenk. Cenk's actually secretly a capitalist. You know, he runs a business. He obviously is going to be. But at the end of the day, the majority of the people that work on the Young Turks or whatnot are pro-capitalism, pro-communism. So when she turns around and says things like, I lost because I'm a capitalist, technically she's right, but yeah, but that's not why you lost the election, really. Yeah.
Pathetic the Democratic Party is. The Democratic Party is gone. Before the election, we talked about, oh, there might be a Republican Civil War. I didn't talk about it, but the rest of the press couldn't stop talking about it. Oh, what will the Republicans do, right? No. The question is, what's the Democratic Party going to do to rise from the ashes? Because they are in ashes. And I'll tell you this right now, we are in total fucking war, okay? I'm not talking about the Republican Party. Yeah, sure, I'm happy to be at war with them. I'm happy to be at war with Trump, and it looks like I'm going to be for 4 years. But I'm at war with the Democratic Party.
You're wrong about one thing though, Cenk. It's not going to be 4 years, buddy. It's going to be 8, okay? 8 years is how long you're going to be at war with Trump, because this is going to happen again in 2020 with any luck.
This corporatist, weak, spineless, pathetic party. So the DNC, you think we're coming for you? You're goddamn right we're coming for you. We're going to pulverize the DNC. We're going to rip it to shreds so that none of those idiot loser corporatists could ever screw up an election like this again. New York Times now has it at...
To the Young Turks. I don't understand what you're saying there, TJ. What do you mean by to the Young Turks? Oh, I think you might be talking about Raymond's comment. Maybe getting help inside from the YouTube. Yeah, I don't think the Young Turks is getting much help from YouTube. I think they are getting some help, but I think they're even extreme for the YouTubers. Oh, sorry, the YouTube headquarters or the YouTube leadership.
95% chance that Donald Trump is going to be president. North Carolina has been called. It goes to Donald Trump. And Wisconsin and Michigan still leaning red. Brought to you by the fucking morons at the Democratic Party.
They really did lose their shit over that, didn't they? Day for Freedom is still going.
Count Dankula.
Oh, Milo. We'll cover this for a sec, guys.
Really bad stuff. Convicted of mocking Nazis on the internet. Count Dankula, Tommy, who cannot go anywhere without risking being attacked. Almost everybody who you'll hear from today has risked something. I too have risked something. I flew here in economy class. I know. You don't have to tell me. Next to some corpulent, snoring mother. Gavin McInnes, fired from every company he's ever started. Even I can't claim that. Now you've shown courage in being here. You've risked opprobrium, you've risked censure, but you're braving the ridicule and the lies. Congratulations to you. You should be proud of being here, because showing up is no mean feat in the current environment. Now, of course, none of us here is genuinely far right, or none of the speakers you're hearing from qualify as that in my book. Glad you weren't put off by the name-calling in the press. For instance, I, as a gay half-Jew with a black husband, am, according to BuzzFeed, the closest thing to David Duke in journalism. I would never join the KKK. Mostly, because things really don't show off your figure. and also because I'd have to get a sort of seasonal membership, since wearing white after Labor Day would get me even more ostracized from gay public life than I already am. And there's the whole I don't hate black people thing. Now, since the fake news media are here in abundance, let me address, and I hate to talk about myself, and I promise we'll get on to the good stuff in a minute, but let me address a few of the allegations, because I know it can be tough being a Milo fan sometimes. First of all, they call me an Islamophobe. Well, they couldn't be more wrong. Muslims and I have lots in common. We both think women should be never seen and never heard. We both throw massive tantrums when we don't get adequately coddled. And a Friday afternoon, I too can be found in a room full of sweaty, hairy men with my ass in the air, ululating in ecstasy. So you see, we have more in common than divides us. They say I hate women. Well, so do other women. One of the things they don't tell you when they write about this outburst, this supposed outburst of abuse and harassment on the internet, sexism in the workplace and in universities, it's all fucking women doing it. It's other girls, they forget to mention that. 9 times out of 10 when a woman is
I swear, I'm not eating chocolate. I swear, okay?
When I want to insult a woman, I do it to her face, or I do it from stage. For instance, Caroline Criado Perez is a worthless, brainless cunt. Another one they say all the time, transphobe. Well, they've got me there. I must admit it, but aren't we all really? I don't think transphobic's the best word for it, really, because I'm less scared of them than I am amused by the bad wigs and how thin-skinned they are. They call me anti-Semitic, despite the fact that my mother is Jewish, and the only thing that I say about the Jews is I think it's great we run everything, and that we can control the weather. I mean, look. Did you see that adorable little dreadlocked lawmaker from Chicago? He's currently in trouble because he got caught on video saying that the weather was manipulated by the Rothschilds. I wish someone had told me. What do you do? Can someone tell me, are there any Jews here? Are there any Jews? Yes, plenty of Jews. Do I just do the Doctor Strange thing and wish for it? Nobody told them I was here. If only I'd known Jews had this kind of power, I'd have made it a bit cooler today. Now, perhaps we can have the protesters rained on, although it sounds like plenty of you have been up to that already. If Britain were a free country, following the lead of Trayon White, that lawmaker in Chicago, I might spend the next few minutes speculating what other races have by way of superpowers. Fuck it, I will. Perhaps the Chinese can divide by 0. It was a math joke. None of you got it. The Japanese, they look good in everything, don't they? Whatever clothes they wear, they always seem to look fashionable and elegant, just effortless. Like chicken breast and Sally Burkow, they go with everything. It was a sex joke. You just didn't like that one. Black people did Wakanda. That was good. It's okay, you can laugh. My favorite tweet of all time, by the way, was from a Black Lives Matter activist who was angry that she couldn't find Wakanda on a world atlas.
Oh my god. Really?
And she said that this was a typical example of how white oppression erases people of colour from historical narratives. It's wonderful. She hadn't been that mad since they discovered that Tutankhamun had mostly European DNA and that the rest of the pharaohs were East Asian. We was kings. Thank you. And then, of course, there's white people. White, not supposed to, thank you. This is a politically correct guardian of doing. But white people have superpowers too. There's parliamentary democracy, capitalism, the rule of law, property rights, TV and radio, cars, light bulbs, the printing press, the internet, Shakespeare, Mozart, St. Peter's Basilica, and Kate Smurthwaite. We have to admit our mistakes too. I love my white privilege, don't you? I think it's wonderful. I bask in it. My white privilege enables me to be labelled defective by the media and by celebrities because of the colour of my skin. It allows me the pleasure of being told that because I'm white, I'm responsible for the sins of every white person in history, and that my life has been an effortless glide through the highest echelons of society. Well, let me tell you, it hasn't all been plain sailing. There were years we couldn't heat the pool. Ordinary people like us hate to play the victim, because we know that playing the victim is what the left does, using their confected grievances and imaginary victimhood and spinning it into social capital. But there's no shame in occasionally pointing out when you are actually the victim of something. Outrage, the word outrage has been sort of ruined by Twitter. We associate it with lies. But outrage, properly understood, is a normal human reaction to injustice. And everybody here, by dint of what you believe, because you think that people should be able to speak freely, because you think that ideas are more important than skin color, because you like your country, you are the victims of injustice. Your supposed white privilege enables you to be actively discriminated against in university applications because your life is just so fucking great. And if you're one of the many minority members here, you are kicked and spat at, called an Uncle Tom, pathologized because you have the wrong opinions for your identity, which is arguably way worse. Have you ever heard me called self-loathing? It's only true around Christmas when I put on a few extra pounds. But really it's an attempt to pathologize. What they're trying to do is give me a disease, a brain disease. They're saying, if you believe something other than I do, you must be ill. And you must especially be sick because you're gay and you're supposed to be with us. Now, quite honestly, I don't care much about race and I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. But talk to those boys, those white working class boys, who are failing at school, whose literacy rates are through the floor, who cannot get an education or even a job, about white privilege. Talk to the young girls of Rotherham or Telford about white privilege.
Holy shit, look at them all. That is a huge crowd.
There is strictly no whites policy in common with the BBC, but mine is restricted to my bedroom. The BBC wants to roll it out across the corporation. It should and it must be okay if you are a black person who has been instructed what to believe. If you are a woman who is suspicious about this wage gap crap, and it is crap, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, man, Eric, that's what I was just saying. It's a huge crowd. There is a lot of people at this thing. I don't know what the attendance level is, but it's huge. There's a lot.
You are, in fact, a victim of something. There's no such thing as white privilege. Mostly there's people with money and people without money. Poverty and lack of opportunity are colorblind, just like the solution to both of them, capitalism and free speech. Now, what I really care about is...
Look at the crowd. It even goes right back. You can see it's like right back there. That is insane.
Do and be whatever the hell they want. This is your moment. This is your Woodstock. This is the thing that you never thought could happen. Thousands upon thousands of people gathering in the centre of London from all political persuasions genders, ideologies, orientations, and skin colors. Drag queens, for fuck's sake. What are you guys doing listening to drag queens? This is the coalition the left has created. This is the coalition that the left is responsible for, and, by the way, some establishment conservatives too, by endlessly bending to their demands. Nothing is more disappointing to me than the horror of the current state of The Spectator magazine, which was the last bastion of common sense, and now publishes Matthew Paris. The elites are not going to help you. Where were the comedians in Britain when a YouTuber was threatened with imprisonment for telling a joke? Frankie Boyle's entire career is based on pissing people off. Not for some higher moral purpose, but because he gets off on it. And I know what he means. Where the fuck was he? Where has the Conservative Party in this country been when people expressing ordinary right-wing points of view, respectable, reasonable opinions, have become expelled from public life, chased from the BBC, invited only on as cranks and crackpots against 3 liberals, including, of course, the host? But the people of this country are behind you. They prove it when they voted for Brexit. I don't know. Guessing
Look at them all. That is a fucking huge crowd.
But I'm willing to bet that there was a sizable proportion of people who voted for Brexit without giving much of a shit about the EU, who just wanted to say, stop telling me what to do. Stop telling me how to think.
I think they can, Raymond. When they say like this, like look at that is going like
The police are behind you.
that is just what you see there is the back view. There are people on the sides of this as well. This is
By politically correct
huge turnout. So
decided that the priorities of various police forces should be scouring the internet for mean words instead of, you know, stopping systematic racially.
I really do think they can make a difference. It's
Of course, the army and the armed forces are heroes, people who fight for our freedoms while watching. Can you imagine coming home from Iraq or Afghanistan and seeing the freedoms that you have put yourself literally on the firing line to protect unravel day by day? Because conservatives who should be standing up for us, Tories and journalists who should be maintaining our freedoms, have utterly capitulated to the progressive left. No more. Most importantly, thank you, Pumpkin. Most importantly, truth and righteousness are behind you. You're the vanguard. You are the dark knights. The first men and women to proudly stand with your heads above the parapet, caring nothing for the bullets that may come your way. And for that, I salute you. Thank you. Defending free expression is not, by the way, code for permitting racism. This is not a secret plan to encourage the growth of bigotry. I don't want everyone telling horrendous jokes about racial minorities. My friend Gavin would be out of a job. Our movement is just what we say it is. A demand that ordinary, respectable, reasonable points of view are allowable in polite society and appear just a bit more often on telly. This is the refusal to accept the criminalization of comedy. Now, unlike some of you here today, I am a full-blooded free speech fundamentalist. I want Nazis on TV, not because I like them, BuzzFeed. You know which bit of the quote they're going to use. but because I believe that good ideas and bad ideas deserve to duke it out. Because I am a classical liberal, I believe J.S. Mill when he tells us that if we don't rigorously and regularly defend our ideas and our ideology, we lose them. They become dead dogmas. We don't know why we believe them anymore. And because I saw what happened when Nick Griffin went on Question Time, I saw what happened when in many instances, you know, in America, when genuine racists, people who actually think that someone should be expelled from a country or shouldn't have the vote or isn't as morally significant because of the color of their skin. And I don't know anyone like that. I would probably have met them by now. When those people are exposed to the harsh light of day, I believe that sunlight is the best disinfectant. I want everyone, no matter what they believe, no matter how batshit feminist or unpleasantly racist they are, I want them to be heard, because that is the only way I believe that a civilized society progresses. The left can't win on arguments, so they have to win with intimidation and bullying. They have to win with other tactics, but I want people to see everybody. The more people tune into Kathy Newman, the more guaranteed Conservative majority is forever. So yes, we're all lied about as a way of making us unpalatable and of driving us from public view. But the dam is breaking, and this is it. It's not working anymore. When you say, it's Tommy and Gavin and Raheem and I do, that you're a Western chauvinist, a Western supremacist, this is translated for you by the helpful members of the media as an admission of racism, but nothing could be further from the truth. You don't have to read between the lines of what we say to find out what we mean. We tell you what we mean. And the way you know that is if you ask an actual white nationalist or an actual white supremacist or an actual neo-Nazi, if there are one, they'll say, yeah. Invariably. Left has a problem, I think, don't they? The establishment, the left, they have a problem with taking what people say at face value.
I'm glad Milo turned up, actually, to be honest.
Detail, jihadis praise Allah and say all of what they're doing is for the greater glory of their God. No, it must be toxic. Sorry, I know. It must be toxic masculinity or gun control or something like that. The Pulse nightclub shooter who killed 49 gays and hurt another 50, they lied about and said he was gay. They said it was repressed self-loathing. No evidence whatsoever for that. We think the West is the best. You guys love your queen. And you don't mind that lady in Buckingham Palace either. Now, wouldn't be proud to be British. I mean, I wavered for a bit, but coming back here and realising there's hope, it should be okay to say that our values are the best and that others are inferior. I don't hate anybody for their faith. A system that wants me dead. The world does not conform to the universe painted by The Guardian and the BBC. I don't know how much black dick I have to suck before BuzzFeed stops calling me a white nationalist. I think the answer is a lot.
Raymond says it's frightening to see Europe gone, no longer freedom nor safe. Yeah, I think we're starting to swing it back though, man. I really do. You asked me in 6 months about this, and I think you'll have a little bit more hope. I think we're starting to swing the pendulum back, so to speak.
Almost kicked to death. That's when they're the most vicious. That's when they're the most dangerous. That's when they resort to violence and nothing else. That's it, the left today. They know they're about to lose. And the next 30 years is going to be a glorious, shitlord-filled explosion of political incorrectness. It is going to be a bright, beautiful, fabulous future of people saying what they actually believe instead of what they're supposed to. They are afraid of us, and they should
Milo does waffle on a little bit, so I think he went a little bit. Yeah.
These sexless soy boy bloggers, frumpy cat-drenched, piss-stained, cardigan-wearing lesbians. In a future imagined by BuzzFeed, it is not The Handmaid's Tale with women swinging from these buildings. It is you. And we cannot allow it. If we lose Europe, we lose everything. Some politicians are getting our message. At the end of this month, I'm going at the invitation of the Orbán government to speak in Budapest in Hungary. Any politician, any politician brave or stupid enough to invite me is clearly seen what the rest of us have seen. Be what you want, do what you want, say what you want, and never lose your conscience. Always stand by your principles, and they will crumble. Thank you very much. God bless. Thank you. And now allow me to introduce. Allow me to introduce a man who learned everything from me. No, I'm just kidding. He's indefatigable and awesome, and you should have seen. I've seen that Sky clip of him. He's incredible. He is your greatest defender in British media. Very proud to call him friend. Please welcome Raheem Kassab.
All right, we're going to keep it brief. You guys have been here a long time, and we're so grateful. By the way, Milo was great. I love a good fact break. Come on. All right, come on. We're all waiting for Tommy, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are you gonna sing it or what? All right. By the way, that sounds a lot better than the Jeremy Corbyn dirge that they sing at momentum rallies, right? Okay, so look, I'm going to be very, very brief with you guys. I'm supposed to be on for a little bit longer, but I know you're waiting to hear from Tommy. We also got to get out of here because I know the police have worked hard all day. They want to get home too. I want to say thank you to all of them. And by the way, thank you to all our great servicemen and women out there who have defended this country. Say thank you.
TJ's asking, do they have a Republican party in Europe, or is it everything a Republican Democrat? The way the politics works over in Europe is the same way it's based in Australia, because the Australian system is based on the same. So you have your Labour and you have your Liberals. Your Liberals are supposed to be what you would call Republicans, and your Labour is what you would call a Democrat. The problem is, or in the UK, they're called Tories. The Tories would be considered the Republicans. The problem is that the Tories have also swung towards the right. To the left, sorry. So not only do you have people, for example... So, hang on guys, I'm getting an...
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce the man behind all of this.
Right, sorry guys, my stream keeps cutting out. I'm going to switch in a sec.
But none of this especially would have been possible without the great Tommy Robinson!
Sorry about that, guys.
People are not listening to them, and then the people are supporting us. The people of this country have been silenced for 20 to 30 years with the tag of racist. They have managed to silence people so they're too scared to speak up when they see things that are wrong. They're too scared to tell the truth and identify problems with an ideology and a religion in our country because they're worried about being called racist. They now realise that that tag is dead. No one cares anymore with being labelled as a racist. So they've now introduced their new term, hate speech. What is hate speech? There's a 16-year-old boy somewhere in here. I'm going to interview him next week. He went to Speaker's Corner and he debated Ali Dawah. And he stated facts about Islam. He was visited last week by counter-terrorism officials as part of the Prevent strategy. His mother was in pieces, crying, scared, worried. The justification the police gave for coming and visiting him, they asked him questions. Would you kill for your ideology? He said nothing extreme, nothing wrong, and nothing non-factual. But the police are visiting him. There's another man up in Burnley, up north as well, who this has happened to. The reason the police gave for visiting him is because they didn't like his opinions on Islam. This is currently what our country's facing. When you hear statistics and they say that 30% of all Prevent strategy is now non-Muslims, that's not and again, visits from counter-terrorism. For telling the truth, for identifying facts. I have 14-year-old boy in the north of England who had a mental breakdown because of the visits from Prevent, because he said that Islam was a fascist.
Alright guys, so I've just had to switch to... I'm actually running it through the Xbox now. Yeah, it's just... Hopefully this will be better for you. It's frightening to see. Okay, I've already said that. I've already answered the Republican question. Good points today. Thank you very much, Raymond. Raymond, Think Tank and the Young Turks are the same? Yes, they are. They are run by the same company, same organisation, same group. Raymond, bans don't work. We should ban Democrats. Well, I don't know. I can't get behind supporting banning a political party, but I get the irony. I get the sense of humour that you're trying to do there. I know it's a joke, but still, yeah. It's good to see Tommy speaking, actually. I can't hear it at the moment, because hopefully you guys can. Can you let me know in chat if you can hear Tommy, please? Just let me know yes or no.
20% of them are called Mohammed. But what they removed my Twitter account for was for saying Islam promotes killing people. It does. 100 verses in the Quran incite them to kill. Again, it was a fact. Now, when you see the news reports, this is where we can't be fooled. Our government, there's been 10,000 Twitter accounts closed at the request of government for hate. There's been 140 Twitter accounts closed for terrorism. Hamas are a prescribed terrorist organisation. They have a Twitter account. Hezbollah are a prescribed terrorist organisation. They have a Twitter
do anything about it. And it has to be so. There's a video of Ed Cooper, a Labour politician. She's sitting down with the CEOs of YouTube talking about why my videos are being promoted. This is government interference with private companies to remove certain people's views, which is fascism. Now, Twitter are a private company, so they can remove you if they want. What I want to do is I'm going to take Twitter to court.
Oh shit.
I'm going to take them to court for discrimination against my physiological beliefs, my deep held beliefs. And I won't get my Twitter account back, but what we'll be able to prove, which needs proving, we need to prove what hate is. We need to prove that facts are now seen as hate. The government are pushing this agenda with private companies. And I'm triggered about my Twitter account still. I deleted my life to concentrate on Twitter.
He's upset about his Twitter.
We all will be there. That's what people need to understand. This is the start. Everyone will be removed. All our views will be removed. On the other hand, you have Muslim organisations, you have terrorist groups, you have far left radical groups.
Someone, Raymond said in the chat that Democrats are now betraying the Bill of Rights and Constitution. Yeah, mate, we actually covered that earlier today. They're talking about banning actual semi-automatic weapons and actually going after people who own the guns. That would be illegal. It would be against the Constitution, as far as I'm aware, as far as I know.
I'll be honest, you see all this, you see the organisation for all this, the videos, none of this, and the people were thanking me, those people coming up saying thank you for the date, I didn't do anything, that's the truth, they done it all. For years, the media, is the mainstream media here? The great thing is no one trusts them. No one's reading them, no one's listening to them. Who watches the news? People are now searching for their alternative media. And that's what we want to do. And with the team, we want to bring people real stories. I've got a story that's going to be coming out hopefully next week. 3 young boys were run over. I spent a week looking at the case of the murder of their children.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for Tommy for having the balls to report on our story. Because
Tell that to the rapers in the ghettos.
we're speaking about Josh, Harry and George, who were murdered in Shepperton.
Okay, Democrats go into their ghettos, do it unarmed, no bodyguards, and leave your voting blacks votes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Eric said, Ray, exactly, they now want to give those 2 things to the middle finger. Yeah. Yeah, you know it's going to happen with the 2018 election. You know that they're going to be running on gun reform and I imagine that'll be the major platform. Gun reform.
I said offensive to who? That I'm in Britain, they're not offensive to me, are they? Is that offensive to you? No. 95,000 people who hate us, who want to hurt us, who want to kill us. Our poor children has become part of that now. And Theresa May, if you can hear me, if you don't have the guts or the balls to get rid of them, stick me in 10 Downing Street, because I'll do it for you. We are not afraid. So thank you again to Tommy for letting us up here and saying our little bit for now. The video's going to come out and you can see more. We don't just want justice for Josh, Harry and George, we want justice for every British person.
Obviously, when that video goes live, guys, I will be obviously doing a video on it myself as well. So, yeah, I'll be linking to Tommy's video and then talking about it.
This video, when you see the story come out, you'll see how disgustingly these families have been treated. You'll see that, getting emotional even thinking about it, man. I spent a week trying over their case. You'll see it next week. People have come here from all over the country. People have made this possible. I know you've all had a long day. Many of you have spent your money, you've travelled from far. There's different organisations, different groups of people that have come. I want to bring one of the lads up now, Justin. He's a I see the Proud Boys, I was with them last night. Justin from the Democratic Football Lads Alliance, just say a few words to say thank you to everyone who's come on their part.
Can I start by welcoming everyone to London? Every football firm from all over Britain, our brothers the veterans, and every single one of you who made the effort to stand up and be counted today. History will look kindly on you. In years to come, people will look back and ask, why didn't we listen to them sooner? We are all taking part in a race against time. Our goal is to educate people before it's too late. Our opposition are those who seek to suffocate freedom of speech. Since 1979, Saudi Arabia have been buying our oxygen, our media, telling us all what to think. The prejudicial bias that runs through our mainstream media, coupled with the perverse political correctness, is a cancer that is spreading through our society. This disease allows the paid-off councils, CPS, police and government.
Roman said Democrats are now in open traders, no longer hiding or discussing their truth. No, they're not, which is a good thing for them. A good thing for us, bad thing for them. So, yeah.
Have depleted and neglected our armed forces. Over 7,000 veterans sleep rough on the streets of Britain every day. Our border agency is not fit for purpose. All are welcome to the promised land. Last one in, close the gate behind you. And you don't see any of them sleeping rough. We are a divided nation. The haves and the have-nots. Injustice at every corner. Our police stand guard with guns, doing a job that by rights the army should be doing. While our towns and cities are lawless. Telford, Rochdale, Rotherham, Oxford, Newcastle, Manchester, Glasgow, the list goes on and on. And we're here today to demand a national inquiry into what is happening with these grooming towns and what is happening to the millions of children being raped in this country by racists.
Raymond says you put others' lives at risk by illegal disarming exposure to families of some criminals. Yeah, the general rule is that the reason why they disarm the public is so that they can bring in their social government. That is a theory that is actually widely popular. That the reason why they want to take away the Second Amendment is so that you can't fight when they take away your First Amendment. So, yeah.
Children's lives may very well depend on it. We're the DFLA
And together, we, all of us...
The young text is full of crap. Yeah, it is, Ray. Yeah, totally agree. Race baiting bullshit too.
Now, the country I thought I lived in prior to 2009, and the freedoms I thought we had, and the learning curve I've gone on since 2009, we live in a post-free speech era. There's no pretending it. We don't have free speech.
They want to control population, Raymond. That is all. Yeah, they want to control the minds, control the information. So, yeah.
How's it going? You go back to our clergy, our military leaders, our politicians. So when in that side,
Pretty sophisticated setup. Raymond, exactly. Raymond, we want to disarm the voice of the Young Turks. Look, at the end of the day, I don't mind them having a platform. Obviously, I'm pro free speech. So I think everybody should have their own voice or have their own platform. And to be honest, look, you just simply go through and check out their like to dislike ratio on their videos. They've had to resort to funding through like alternative methods, like through their like supporters and stuff. So their money's running out. It must be running out. When you start going through and start begging or asking your supporters for money when you got like a $20 million whatever it was startup, then the account must be getting pretty low. Raymond, you're right about the same thing. Something doesn't add up. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. I think they want to get rid of the Second Amendment so they can get rid of the First. Get rid of them both eventually.
I know you've all had a long day, and I want to thank every single one of you for travelling in. It's been a beautiful day. You know what? I take massive satisfaction. We couldn't have done this 3 years ago. We couldn't have done this 4 years ago. We're now mainstream. The public support us. What? The lies. They don't believe the lies they're saying. So a personal thank you from me to every single one of you. You've made me, you know, I stood up on this stage earlier, and you're all singing my name. It's an amazing feeling.
Right, Robert saying doesn't add up. One mass shooting a day. I don't think so. No, neither do I, actually. I think he's full of shit on that. Fake news. Probably one mass shooting, probably a fortnight at the most, maybe a month, maybe. I don't know. I don't even think it's that bad, to be honest. Sargon records there. Just saw him walk up. Looks like Sargon. Is that Carl Benjamin, do you think, there on the right? Looks like him.
we ready?
The Young Turks, never like them. They're nothing but traitors. They're race baiting bullshit artists. Yeah. Yeah, it's Sargon. What do you reckon? You reckon the elites over in Britain are shitting themselves about now with this? I reckon they must be packed themselves thinking, holy shit, we got a problem.
I think we send a message today to the government. People will no longer be silent. We're pieing outside Theresa May's house. Brilliant. We rocked up with thousands of people outside Theresa May's house. What a beautiful sight. Again, just a thank you to everybody for coming, man.
That's the Nazi pug.
Again, just thank you again, man. And have a safe journey home.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And follow me on YouTube. Project says, see me and George. And then those
Go and grab Raheem.
Yeah, where is it?
Go and speak to Luke from Make Britain Great Again. Where's Raheem?
Oh, I don't even know.
Alright. So, I might end it there, guys. We've been going for about 4 hours now. 3 hours, sorry. 3.5 hours almost. So I might end it there. Just to wrap up, read the last comments that have been posted. I don't think she is real. Gun owner, she says she's saying that it has a gangster. Here's my assault gun, I'll turn it in. I think she has a pistol. I think she has a pistol and she has it for self-defense. And I think the other people on the panel might have been giving her a little bit of a dirty look. As to, that's why she very quickly stopped talking. You can see that in the actual interview when they're talking about it. She shuts up pretty bloody quick. So yeah, I imagine she yeah. And then he said gun owner, autocorrect. Oh, okay, instead of gangster. Okay, yeah. But yeah, guys, look, I'm gonna leave it here. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Obviously, this video will be up later. Obviously, it'll take about 24 hours to buffer. So I'm going to privatize the video for now, and then I'll publicly list it when it's up again. It makes sense. You shut up and leave everyone's Bill of Rights alone. Yeah, exactly. But guys, yeah, look, thanks for joining in. Obviously, if you haven't smacked like already, please do on this video. It does obviously let YouTube know that these videos or these streams are important, or that people do like them. Apart from that, guys, obviously, I have also changed the schedule on the video when it goes to video uploads. The videos are actually uploading later now, because that way I can actually cover the day's events, and I'm not roughly about 12 to 24 hours behind. Mary's just rocked up. Mary, you've missed it all. But yeah, like I say, so the videos are going up about 6 or 8 hours later now, in case you guys haven't already noticed. Apart from that, guys, like I say, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you guys. I don't know if I'll make videos later today, but there'll be definitely more videos tomorrow. Apart from that, guys, thanks everybody. Have a great night, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great night.